Hey you guys, it's me Laura. I'm a homeschooling mom of three kids, ages 6, almost 11, and 13. And today I'm going to be sharing with you our group subjects for the 2024-2025 school year, and hopefully Stormy won't cause too much trouble here. Huh. So this year is different because this is the first year that my first grader is really coming into being ready to do unit studies, adding that into the mix. And it's been a little bit of a challenge. We've kind of started a little bit. We start a little early and just kind of, I don't know, we school year round. So there's not the hard stops that sometimes might happen if you school on a schedule. So we started pulling in some unit studies, pulling in some stuff. It's been difficult for me. It's a lot more time because I do the unit with the boys, I do literature with them one-on-one. I have to, of course, be available to help them with their math and their other subjects as well. And then now I'm doing another unit study every day with my little one, and then all of her subjects, she's not obviously independent yet, so she's needing help to get all of those done as well. So I am finding that now that I'm adding a third in, and there is such a big gap in grades, we're talking first and sixth grade, so that's a big gap. It's definitely taking more of my time, and it's been quite an adjustment for me. And also now that I'm running a business, writing curriculum, getting all of that out, it's a lot. So I'm trying to find ways to be able to pull everyone together as much as possible. I'll still have to teach them separately because the skills even are so different. And even when they're doing similar things, the depth that my boys can learn at and the topic, the intensity of it is much more than my first grader. So I have quite a mismatch of stuff here. And as I write units, of course, I'll throw those in the mix as well. But I need to have stuff that's ready to go so that if I get to the end of the unit, I don't have anything prepped. I've got things that are super easy to pull together. And I'm pretty happy with what I have set up for this year. So our first unit, of course, is going to be Light Comes to Shadow Mountain, which is the unit that I'm about to release to the public from Ticket to Learning. I'm super excited about this. The kids have seen me writing it and putting it together. They've given me feedback along the way on some of the activities, and they're super, super excited to start. So this is based on the book Light Comes to Shadow Mountain by Tony Buzzio. And I will be doing a full review of this really soon, but it covers so many subjects. For most people, I think this might end up being like a history unit, a Great Depression unit, but we've already studied that. So we're going to mostly focus on the science and writing in here. So we're going to be doing this Nellie Bly investigative journalism, which is technically history because it looks at the history through journalism, but there's a lot of writing, and I really want to give my older boys a lot more writing opportunities this year. So that'll be a really good way to do that. And we're also going to focus on this electricity. And I might pull in the light and optics for my little one because it's got some experiments and activities that are more geared to her age. This has a lot on herbs and herbalism and plants, as well as the Appalachian culture, which is super important and near and dear to my heart. So we're going to be learning a lot about that. We'll be learning a lot about various science topics, and we're really going to make this be more of and there's a lot of social emotional learning stuff in here. That'll be a huge focus. So there's so much in here that even if we don't do much of the history, we will definitely have no problem doing this. I have loads of stuff that I think will be appropriate. Come along and join in with us. And there's also lots of writing opportunities for me to push my older a little bit more. This unit is actually meant for ages 8 to 12, but I don't think I'm gonna have any problem adapting it. And I think it's gonna be pretty easy to just kind of open and work with. I'll have to do a little planning at the beginning, but I think that will be it, because each unit has, so see, when you have a lesson, you have, this is the main stuff, which we'll probably always do that. And then we'll talk about the questions. There's tons of vocabulary activities in the language guide that we will be pulling from. And then all of these activities, like these are the history ones, but then there's all these, there's arts and crafts, there's writing, there's culture, there's all sorts of stuff. We're not going to run out of things even if we don't do any history. So I think this is going to be really fun. It's going to be neat to be going through it with my kids, and that will help me hopefully get some solid feedback so I can make better units in the future. But that is the first unit. We're all super excited about it, and that will be right after the one that we wrap up right now. Right now we're wrapping up Cold War, And I have one of the ways that I'm trying to incorporate things is to see when the boys are doing a unit, is there something that I can pull in for Lily that overlaps in any way? So they're doing the Cold War right now, and we're learning about the space race and rockets and missiles and just all those things. So I have pulled Me and My Place in Space. This is by Little School of Smiths. They have Me on the Map and Me and My Amazing Body, I think it's called. So I've gotten those units to kind of go with it. So while the boys are learning about the space race and space and all that way, Lily's learning about the planets and all of that. And so there is an overlap so they can still share. In fact, Monday, we're going to be doing rockets and we're doing them together. We're building all these different rockets. And I'm going to pull Lily in with the boys. And so we can enjoy that together, which will be really fun. So trying to do that as much as possible, I think is really good. And I'm really excited about the ways that I've done that. So I will come back to this because I bought the other 2 units as well, and I'm going to show you kind of how they incorporate. So one thing that I did, I was looking for the boys at Build Your Library level 7. I love this because this unit has so many of the books that I had on the shelf that I want to go through with the boys this year anyway. I really want to be focusing more on world culture. I'm probably going to pull in a little bit of world history with this as well, which will be really fun. And I think it's going to be a really good unit. And I mostly will pull in history through the book basket. So we still have our book basket for the different ages. And if we're studying Africa, for instance, I'll be pulling in stuff from ancient Egypt. For Asia and Africa, I might pull in stuff on the Silk Road. When we're doing Europe, I'll of course pull in European history, the same for South America, and just kind of put that in the book basket. So it won't be like a rigorous schedule, but with the book basket, I have a basket full of books. They have to read from it 15 minutes a day. I can read with them. They can read by themselves, but it just kind of lets them explore whatever we're learning in ways that are meaningful to them. And I think that that's going to be a really good way to tie history in a little bit with this world geography. But as I was looking at this, I realized that level 0, which is really meant for kindergarten, but of Build Your Library, is also around the world. And I thought, oh my goodness, how perfect, I can do them together. So I'll be using both of those. I'm breaking it up into units. So like each continent is a unit. So if there are books that overlap a little bit, I've kind of pushed those to one side or the other so that we've got clear units, and I'll just be doing units still separately with the kids, but the same continent at the same time, so that there'll be a lot that is overlapping. And also for Lily, her first unit is a little bit shorter than the boys' first unit. So I will be using from Little School of Smiths, I'll be using the Me on the Map to kind of start that out and build a few more activities for her to go in with her geography. And I think that that's going to be really fun. So there will also be a couple units probably that don't overlap. So for Lily, I'll be using Me and My Amazing Body from Little School of Smiths. And for the boys, I really want to do a civil rights unit for them. But I've been working on one actually in the background for a long time, but I just haven't gotten real far in it. And because of homeschooling more hours every day for me, not necessarily the kids, but it's taking me quite a bit more hours to homeschool them now that there's the split there. Also writing for Ticket to Learning, it's just really hard for me to write as in-depth units for them as I used to. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to try moving beyond the page. I've been hesitant to try them for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's for gifted kids, especially in writing, and that is the area of struggle. But I was looking at the levels and what's required as far as the skill level, and I felt like this unit was really good. Because this is a unit that I wanted to do, I had the book that goes with it on my shelf already to read with the kids. Moving beyond the page, they always pair either a science or social studies unit with a literature unit. And so this one is they have a civil rights, science and social studies unit, and they're pairing it with the Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry literature unit. So these definitely have a lot more writing than what my boys are used to, but I think it's going to be good for them, a good challenge. The thing that I really struggle with is, so the way the lessons are laid out, it's just a lot of writing on the page, like just straight text. And this is very hard for me. It's also very hard for my boys to this feels overwhelming. Like just looking at the page, it feels very overwhelming. And that is honestly the main reason that I have been hesitant to use this curriculum, just because the layout, feels so overwhelming to me. But I thought, you know what, maybe I can take a highlighter to it, break it up, put some boxes around things, and do my best to work with it, because I've heard so many good things about this curriculum. I thought it would be worth a try. I think this is going to be just the right level of challenge for my kids, and it's already done for me. So I don't have to spend hours and hours planning and putting it all together. And so I think that's going to be helpful for me to have this year. So those are the things I have on hand. Like I said, as I write units, it's possible that I'll be squeaking other things in here or things that come up. But I needed to have plenty of stuff on hand for me to just grab the next unit and get started. And this is what I'm doing. I think this is great. I am pretty happy with the way that I've been able to incorporate all the kids together as much as possible. Like I said, they have their separate unit study times, and there will be times that I can pull them in either way, with pull the boys in with some stuff that Lily's doing or pull Lily in with some of the stuff boys are doing. And I think that will be really good. But it's just, there's not that planning, which for me in this current stage of my homeschool is exactly what I need. So I'm really excited. Interested to hear what you guys are doing. Do you combine subjects? Do you have large spans of kids? If so, how do you separate them out? How do you do that for teaching? I would love to hear what you have to say. And I hope that you guys are having a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.